Before we get on to Arsenal and City and tonight, are Chelsea back, boys? Are Chelsea back?
I think Chelsea are back, but they're back to the late 90s when they were coming fourths and fifths and sixes. That's where they're back. I don't really understand what back means. Back winning Champions Leagues and leagues, not for me. I mean, look, 96, 97, Vialli and Zola days, they were coming sixth. Then they went fourth, third, fifth, sixth, fourth. So, yeah, they're back to there. That's for sure. They're back for fighting for the top four, in my opinion. I still think they may struggle without a striker and a goalkeeper because I think that Sanchez is an absolute donkey. We saw again at the weekend why he is so inconsistent. I thought he was good against Bournemouth, but terrible against Brighton. And look, maybe they don't need a number 9 if Cole Palmer's going to do that every game because he was elite. The guy is an absolute baller, man. He's such a good player. He really is. So Chelsea will be up there fighting for top 4, in my opinion, this season. Whether they'll get it ahead of Liverpool and Villa, I don't know. Whether they'll go fight for third, fourth with them. At the moment, that's the 5 that I have, if I'm honest with you. Chelsea, Villa, Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City are the 5 I've got in front of me that I think will probably be in that conversation. So, yeah, Chelsea are back fighting for top 4, but that's not where they want to be, surely. I mean, a lot of the fan base is suggesting that they're in a title race this season, and I appreciate that it's very early and that a lot can happen. I just don't see that happening, personally. I don't think they're going to be in a title race with Manchester City, Arsenal, and at the moment, Liverpool. So that's just not a conversation that I'm willing to be having this early. But look, if they get to a stage where by February, March time, they're up there and they're touching distance with City and Arsenal, maybe we can talk about that. But until they do that, I'm not going to go down that conversation. Chelsea have surprised me. Chelsea have been good this season. I think Maresca has probably surprised me more than anything because I really thought it was a tough job for him. You look back now at the players that he was saying, I don't want him, I don't want him. You can see that he's actually working with the squad that he's got. And yes, the players they brought in have actually done well. But when you look at it, even the signings this season, other than Sancho and maybe Neto, they've not been their key players for them. A lot of them are still in the bench. You look at Dewsbury Hall, he's been on the bench. Tosin, he's been on the bench. So actually, he's built pretty much this season with the squad that Poch had. So look, it's going to be a hard thing for me to say Chelsea are back because when I say Chelsea are back, it means they're winning titles and winning Champions Leagues, right? So look, I personally believe that there's a chance for them to get top 4. I think LB said it as well that he thinks they'll get or have a chance to get in top 4. But I do believe that they're a striker and a goalkeeper away from cementing that. So we'll have to see where we're at with Chelsea. I mean, if they've got Cole Palmer playing like that, anything's possible. They are so good, man. So good.
Yeah, I think, that I still think that they'll regret not signing a striker. I do. I do. And a goalkeeper, a proper class goalkeeper. That's what I said. I think they're going to be in there. They're in there. Can they finish 4th? Yeah, they could. But I still think that if they would have signed a striker, they would have signed a goalkeeper. I think they would have had it nailed on. They would have had it nailed on. That's the point I always come back to with Chelsea is that I just think that they let themselves down a little bit, and maybe they can still get 4th. They're not a million miles away. They're obviously playing pretty well at the moment, but I just think over the course of 38 games, I just think they regret not getting a new goalkeeper and a new striker. But they're cooking right now. They're cooking. They are. They're doing well. And this guy has implemented a style of play within 6 games. So you have to give him credit. Huge credit.
Yeah, it's just this is why I was saying to someone the other day, a few weeks ago, about Ten Hag, that I believe that Man United have put a structure in place now where the board are running the club, the board is essentially signing the players. That the manager can go, I want him and him, but they're off a list that the board's creating, so it's the same difference. So it's easier to sack managers because if the head coach isn't working, you look at Bayern Munich. They've operated this way for as long as I can remember. It didn't work last year with Thomas Tuchel. They bring in Vincent Kompany, and they're looking better. Vincent Kompany hasn't restructured the fucking football club. He's just gone in and implemented his training methods and his drills, and he's getting better out of the players. You look at Hansi Flick at Barcelona. Barcelona didn't have a rebuild in the summer. In fact, they've got a lot of injury problems and got a lot of kids playing right now. But it looks so far he's doing a better job coaching-wise. And when you have a structure in place, and Barcelona, by the way, went through madness, but people go and research what Jordi Cruyff, big up Jordi Cruyff, United legend, has been doing behind the scenes in the last couple of years. They've been rebuilding their infrastructure. You can just move and change coaches and you can improve very quickly if the technical floor of your squad is good. And the one thing with Chelsea is they did sign a lot and they have got a lot of technically proficient football players. They still need more. I still think they need, you could argue, some better players at the back in terms of playing out, including the goalkeeper and their players to mature. I think they look really good right now. Who I wanted to ask you about, LB, is how gutted are you that Cole Palmer is not a Man City player? Because I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. I think he's on form, he's the best player in the world right now, and no one in the Premier League and in the midfield attacking position, I think he's anywhere near his current levels. He is just, I can't believe how good he is.
No, I don't think he's the best player in the world right now, but he's very good. I didn't want to sell him at the time. Said we shouldn't have sold him. You know what I mean? I didn't think selling him for 40 million was the right move. I understood why they sold him, but on my stream that I did at the time, I said, don't sell him. This is a mistake. I seen this guy. I watch academy football. I watch academy football for City, yeah? And I've seen this guy develop from 15, 16 years old all the way up the academy. And I knew this guy was a slammer. I knew he was a slammer, and he just needed to play in his right position. Unfortunately, we couldn't play him in the right position. I actually have a bit of insight into what actually happened on that deal, because I have a pretty good source when it comes to Palmer. He was told that when Mahrez left, he would be the next right winger at Manchester City. That's what he was told, yeah? Mahrez left, and then we signed Jeremy Doku. Now, everyone goes, yeah, but Jeremy Doku was a left winger. Jeremy Doku played predominantly on the right-hand side for Stade Rennes. So, obviously, he's seen that happen, yeah, and he's gone, what, hang on a minute. I thought I was meant to be the next right winger. You just signed the right winger. Let me leave on loan. I want to go play some football. City didn't want to loan him. They said, you're either being sold or you're staying. And then he went, right, we'll sell him then. Chelsea come in with a 40 mil. I'll see you later. I said it was the wrong move. I said we should have kept him. We need someone like him at the moment in our team. Yeah, but it is what it is. Listen, at the end of the day, maybe they just get a little bit of revenge. We got De Bruyne in it. They thought De Bruyne wasn't good enough. Turned out to be one of the greatest players the Premier League's ever seen. So listen, I have to take a little bit of a L on this one. I will do. You know what I mean?
Love that.
But I think as well for us, it's been highlighted more because Oscar Bob, who's basically the next one, that's because we remember City have got a conveyor belt of players coming through. Oscar Bob's the next one. He looks absolutely brilliant. He's got a broken leg. Would City fans be feeling so annoyed, frustrated if Oscar Bob wasn't injured? True. No, because he started the season really good until he got his broken leg. So it is what it is. Now, GG's to Chelsea. Some great scouting, 40 million. A lot of people said it was too expensive. I knew it was going to be decent signing for him because I knew how good he was. And I hope he does well, man. I hope he does well. So, yeah, fair play.
Yeah, he's flying right now. Again, when I saw the numbers on Saturday, because sometimes you're not focused on a player's numbers as much. And after the hat trick of 4 goals, turns out more goals and assists since game week 1 in the Premier League last season than Haaland, which is crazy because Haaland's numbers are on a sort of an alien level, and he's just it's the volume of goals, but it's the variety of goals, and they're an improving team altogether. I wouldn't call them Cole Palmer FC because other players, Caicedo, I think, has been amazing in the midfield this season. I think he's starting to look more and more like that £100 million player that he went for. But I think when you've got a player of Palmer's level in your team, anything is possible. In terms of you can win any game, you theoretically can win anything. The league's a little harder because of consistency that's needed, but anything is possible when you have a player like this. He's a bit of an anomaly as well. I mean, we know how good Saka is, but you look at the additional goals and assists this guy has on top. It's I think it's in the last year and a bit, something like between 15 and 20 additional goals and assists from this guy.
I've said this many times on multiple streams that I think Palmer is a better footballer than Saka. I think he is. Now people say don't play the same position. Well, that's because Chelsea have moved him into midfield. He could play right wing and is an extremely good talent. And, going to England, because we've got all these mint players. Yeah, you got Foden, Palmer, Saka. I think Bellingham's probably the most overrated player out of the 4 of them, if I'm being deadly serious with you. Yeah. And then obviously you got some others flirting around as well. Like, we've got a good team, man, and we need a manager that can fit these guys into the England side because these are good footballers, man. These are good footballers.
Potsy, let me ask you a question. I asked this last night. I'd love to get your take on this. You can get the deal done. We're gonna magic wand it. Would you swap Cole Palmer for Martin Odegaard?
That's a really good take, man. I thought you were going to say Saka. You threw me there. I was getting ready for the Saka one.
It's why I'm good. It's why I'm good at this job. It's why I'm good at this job.
Yeah.
It's why I'm good at this job.
That's how we get. That's how we get away. Everyone's better than Saka, isn't he? So I got used to that one. The reason I would say yes is because the numbers are scary in that position. And I love Martin Odegaard. I think he's an absolute unbelievable footballer. But I think Cole Palmer right now in the last 2 seasons is proving why he's going to blow the GA of Martin Odegaard out the water. And I think Odegaard brings a lot more than just GA. But I think Palmer is so good in that position that I'm going to pick Cole Palmer, which is bad because I probably would never have said that 12, 18 months ago. We would have thought, what the hell is he going to Chelsea for? I didn't know enough about him at Man City. All I did was I saw last season Cole Palmer, the only Man City player to score against Arsenal. That was in the Community Shield. And I thought, oh, that was quite a good performance from him. He went to Chelsea and I thought, a bit strange. And Man City replaced him with Doku, who's doing his best impression of Adama Traore and Alan St. Maximin, bless him. So it looks bad move now for Man City. But yeah, I've got to be honest. I think Palmer's ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous player. And yeah, I think LB would probably swap him for Foden as well, if I'm honest.
What a balls. What a bollocks. No, I wouldn't. No, I would not.
Yes, you would.
Nah, fair play to you. Fair play for you for being honest. Yeah. I mean, and give us your real take.
And fair play to you for lying.
I've just got better players. I've just got better players than you, innit? And I don't need to swap Foden. I'm chilling with my Foden. You know what I mean? Done it at the Bernabeu, top bins. You know what I mean? So I'm chill. I'm calm, man. I'm calm. But I didn't think he was going to say yes to that. So fair play. I would, if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd swap Odegaard for. I think Odegaard's a bit overrated, if I'm being honest.
Nah, come on, man. Don't do that. He's a good player, man. Come on.
Whoa. Didn't say he wasn't a good player. I think I said he's a bit overrated.
Oh, okay.
I do think he's overrated.
Overrated how?
Yeah, by who?
Well, by football fans. I think he's overrated. I don't think he.
Yeah, but what ones? What have they said that's overrating him? That's not
well, people put him on a pedestal. I'm like, I think Saka's more important to your team. If I'm being honest with you,
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
Rice is more important to your team. I think David Raya is more important to your team. I just think that, like, I just don't think he's anywhere near as good as people make out. I'd much rather have Saka over him. I'd much rather have Declan Rice over him. I'd much rather have David Raya over him, Saliba over him, maybe even Gabriel over him. I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it. I can't really give you a proper explanation as to why. Yeah, it's just
hate.
It just. Yeah, maybe it's hatred. I don't know.
Arsenal hate is real.
No. I just honestly think that there's like more important players in your team than Odegaard, and I don't think. I think there's loads of players that you could swap him with.
Yeah, look, do you know what it is? Like, for years, people said, "Would I swap Bruno Fernandes for anybody?" And when he was putting up, I mean, you got to remember this guy for a midfielder. In one season, scored more goals than any other midfielder in a single season than any other midfielder in English football history across all competitions. When he was delivering numbers like that, I knew there was better technical footballers out there than him, but nobody was bringing me the numbers. And you have to think about the output of a player as well. You know, we know that Haaland isn't the best technical footballer in the world, but there's no point bringing somebody in that has Danny Welbeck's technique, who scores like Danny Welbeck for Haaland, because the goals are more important. Obviously, I'd swap Cole Palmer for Bruno Fernandes now. I'd say yes before they finished answering the question. It'd be done. Cole Palmer would be in a red shirt. But when it comes to Odegaard, I do think he's really good. I do think he's a really good player. But the Palmers are just... And do you know what's really funny I love about these conversations? Is that, you know, when you're normally having these debates and people are saying, oh, not everything's about GA. I would agree to that. GA isn't everything in football. But when it comes to nitpicking between top quality players... GA and trophies are the things that separate these if they play the same position, that is. If they're both playing attacking midfield and tens, then of course it does. And Palmer's putting up numbers from an attacking midfield role that are ungodly. That for a player his age in the Premier League, in a team as well, that last season was doing nothing. And it's the variety of goals, penalties, free kicks, long range, tap-ins, headers. The boy can do all of it. I'm honestly so jealous that Chelsea got him. And if they get 2 or 3 more players now that start following suit, Sancho looks good, Caicedo's looking good, Enzo's putting in performances. Ever since Maresca put Levi Colwill back in centre-back role, you can understand now why the likes of Liverpool and co wanted him, because he's looking good. Chelsea are worrying me a lot at the moment, like genuinely worrying me.
I'm glad they bought Palmer, though. Imagine Palmer at City on top of Haaland and Foden. Just be a nightmare, wouldn't it? So, yeah, look, he's a top talent.
Foden to be on the bench even more. Do you know what I mean? It's just crazy. Why is he on the bench so much at the moment, Foden?
I just think he's had a few personal issues going on in his life, innit? So I think we're sorted now, based off of what Pep said last night in his press conference. It seems to suggest that he's all right now. But yeah, I think he's just had a few personal issues that needed to be sorted out, bro.
Yeah, I saw a few City like aggregator accounts put out. I didn't listen to what was being said, to be fair. So I'm going to ask you, saying that maybe there's a problem between him and Pep.
Nah, that's BS.
Is that BS? Yeah.
Yeah, it's BS. He just had listen. He's had a lot of stuff going on in his life personally, and yeah, like I said, I think Pep alluded to it yesterday in his press conference, and he said he's basically fine now, isn't it?
Well, his mum hasn't been fighting in nightclubs again, has she?
I fucking hope not. Jesus.
That honestly,